Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another day in the life video. It's about 6 in the morning right now. I'm just getting ready for my day to start because this week is the beginning of week number 4 of our clinical experience. By the end of the week, we'll be halfway done with this clinical experience, which is pretty crazy considering it feels like it's just flown by. But this morning, I do need to make sure that I talk with my clinical instructor about my time that I need to do a quick call with some of my clinical advisors from school just to do a quick check-in. I think it shouldn't take too long, but just to see if they're able to make it, and if not, I can just take the call on my own. But that's just what I need to work on today. I think other than that, the only assignments we have this week are the CPI, the clinical performance instrument that the APTA kind of puts out to track students throughout their clinical experiences and how they're progressing. So I'm going to get ready for clinic and I'll talk to you guys once it's done. I had a really good Monday to start off this week. I had it pretty busy with 8 to 9 patients, I believe, today, all of which I took on myself, which was really great because I got to interact with a lot of people. But in the end, my brain was definitely really tired after work, and I decided to just go for a run just to get my mind off of things and kind of refresh so that hopefully I can have a pretty productive as well as relaxing evening. But today was really great because I got to see some of the interactions of like when one of my patients actually got to hear that we believe that we can recommend them to go back home as a feasible option compared to going to more rehab afterwards. And they actually burst into tears according to the case managers that were working with them. So it was just a really awesome day for building those connections and really getting to see the impact that we can have on people's lives, as well as just getting to have fun with the people while I'm there in physical therapy for the day. So overall, it was a great day. I think I'm going to make myself some dinner because I am so hungry after doing that 4-mile run. So I'm going to get to that and I'll make sure to update you guys along the way. Well, this week is going really well. I had another great day today. Lots of patients where they were actually telling me that they really appreciated the work that I was doing, as well as a couple of times where throughout today I had, for example, after I had introduced myself, some of the relatives of patients had come in after I had introduced myself as a student physical therapist, so they didn't know I was a student. And about halfway through the session, I would make like a joke about the fact that I was a student, and they would comment on the fact that they were like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were a student." So I feel like that's a really good compliment overall, that I'm at least feeling pretty comfortable within my patient encounters and just doing a pretty good job, I think, overall. So I'm very happy with my progress. Now, tomorrow I have the day off, so I am definitely going to get some relaxation in. Well, the first 2 days of this week have been really good. I'm definitely feeling a little tired, maybe just because I'm seeing more and more patients completely on my own. Like, my clinical instructor is giving me good guidance in terms of she's right there outside of the door, but she's letting me just go in and do encounters by myself and just asking me how they went, and then going over some documentation afterwards just to try and improve, make sure that I'm looking for the right things, like being detailed in my assessment of each patient's gait patterns, or, other things like that that are really important in terms of showing exactly how skilled we can be in our assessments. So I'm going to spend the rest of tonight just kind of relaxing. I'll probably play a little bit more of Tears of the Kingdom just to give myself some time to really not think about anything and just have some fun. But I'm going to get to that, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow after my day off. I just dropped off some lunch for my girlfriend at the hospital so that way she can have a good afternoon as well as having some nice Starbucks coffee on top of it. But pretty much the rest of today, I did some chores this morning, but in the afternoon, I'm really going to try and work on some of the logistical things. We have our CPI assessment, so I know that they've been having some issues with it. We're switching back to the old version because apparently they're having too many issues with the new version. So I'm going to make sure that I understand it, can get into it, and possibly take that assessment today, since I'll be talking about it with my clinical instructor. I believe we planned on Friday. But outside of that, I also need to make sure that I get all of my things in for my loans to pay for this upcoming semester, for the summer semester, and get all of that out of the way. So I'm going to work on that, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We had another really good day today at clinic where I ended up seeing a bit more of different types of patients with either different conditions or things like that that I haven't really run into yet. Like, for example, my first patient in the morning was of the much younger population, much more nimble and agile coming out of it compared to, for the most part, some of the older adults that I've had within most of the cases. So it was a unique spin to kind of try and navigate throughout, as well as them being in their teenage years and just kind of feeling frustrated with the fact that they were there in the hospital and trying to navigate that while also trying to teach them some safe methods in order to use their crutches and things like that. So overall, it was unique, but I also had the first patient that I ran into, which was non-English speaking, that we had to use an interpreter for. They spoke Burmese, which I had no idea what it was, no basis of it at all. So it's just interesting to kind of feel out what that interaction feels like, trying to connect with your patient while also being able to talk through the interpreter. But all of that as a whole, I also had my first patient who has Parkinson's disease and just kind of navigating the different intricacies of kind of that ataxic gait pattern and making sure that I can guard properly, as well as trying to educate the family members that they would be going home with, just to make sure that they can be safe once they get discharged from the hospital. But outside of that, I ended off my day with a short Zoom call with my clinical education advisor as well as my clinical instructor, where we just kind of did a quick halfway point check-in on how things were doing. And overall, it was very positive. Got some good things to kind of draw from and keep working on as I finish the second half of my clinical experience in the next 4 weeks. So I'm very happy with that, very positive reviews. It sounds like I'm on a really good trajectory, so I am very excited to finish out this clinical experience strong. But the rest of the evening, I think I'm just going to take a look at the clinical performance instrument that I mentioned earlier this week, because they've been having so many problems with it that we're going back to the new, well, we were on the new version, we're going back to the old version. In the old version, I just have to make sure that I can log into just so that I can complete that this weekend because now we're going to push off talking about that until next week. So that's pretty much my main thing to do tonight, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Well, we're ending this week on a little bit of a rainy day, but it ended up being a really good day as well. I feel like every single day has been super awesome. I'm very thankful that I've had the experience that I've had so far, and I'm already halfway through. We're 50% done with our clinical experience one. But what made today special was I had the opportunity to work again with the patient who has Parkinson's disease and just kind of helping do some of the caregiver training and make sure that they can be safe in their transfers, walking, things like that when they go home on their own. So I thought that that was a really unique experience, as well as something that just really kind of touched my heart today, where I had one of the patients that I've been working with the entire week that has had a lot of pain, but luckily throughout the week they were able to get a bit better sleep. We were able to work together to progress walking further, getting things done. And at the end of today's session, it was just really nice that she took the time to say, "Thank you, I appreciate everything that you've done for me. The fact that you come in every day, gently push me, not forcing me, but getting me to really take on what you know I can do and get me to be the best person that I can be, as well as taking that time at the end of each session to make sure that she was comfortable." She was just incredibly thankful, even though she was in so much pain, that I was there for her and pushed her to be the best that she could. So that was just a great way to kind of end this week off. But that's really all that I have for this week. I'm just going to head to work tonight from 5 until 9, and I'm working through the entire weekend as well as into next week, which make sure you guys check out the video next week because it will be a really good one, I think, because on Tuesday and Thursday we have our regular shift on the orthopedic and trauma floor, but then on Wednesday and possibly Friday as well, I'll have the chance to be within the emergency department, getting to see exactly what happens in an area of physical therapy that I really didn't even know had a good standing, and doing it in a really good hospital as well. So I'm extremely excited for that. If you want to see that, make sure to check out the video next week. Thank you so much for watching this one. If you enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching. This has been KBDPT, and I'll see you all in the next video.